I recently made a video focusing on the axe maker Fenix. It's called the Fenix Definitive video. And if this is your first video you take a look at and you're looking into these axes, then I would highly recommend you to stop watching now and go look at the definitive video. It is over 3 hours long, so it's quite a stretch, but it is a good introduction to the brand, to their different models and the intended uses of their axes. What I have here today is a axe that didn't make the cut for that definitive video. It was a late arrival, and I got this one when I was almost finished with the entire recording for the definitive video. So that is why I'm making this, dedicated video of sorts. And I'm also going to make other videos which are going to be dedicated videos for certain specific models, but those models will in 99% of the cases already have been shown in the definitive video, although not as quite in depth as the dedicated videos. So like I said, if this is your first look at a Fenix axe, maybe jump over to the definitive video. You don't have to, but it is my recommendation. So what we have here is a sort of a niche axe made by Fenix. This is the SEKACH-2 strengthened. This is a butcher's axe. That is why it is sort of niche, but you can of course use it for other tasks other than butchering or skinning, dressing, and kitchen use, etc. And with the axe you get the typical Fenix booklet here, which is semi-tricky to read unless you understand Russian. But we can at least look over the specs here. But let's start by taking a look at the axe itself here. So as you can see, well, the first thing that strikes me is that I can see that it is an insane cutting edge blade length here. But we're gonna go into that later. So we have the typical leather work here, made by Fenix. Really sturdy, nice leather. Same kind of general design, etc. used for most of their axes, if not all of them, I'd say. And the typical handle shape, which is pretty much synonymous with Fenix. In regards of grain orientation, not sure how well it can be seen here, but the grain orientation is, as always, pretty nice, I'd say. Same with the fit and finish here, and the head here, attached really snug tight fit, which is always a good thing. So let's unsheath this beast of an axe. Look at that cutting edge length. It's not so bad, is it? So let's take this look now at the specs here, and the specs are going to be the exact ones for this exact SEKACH-2 strengthen. There may be some small variations in weight and cutting blade length, etc. But for my exact axe, this one is 1,650 grams, 1.65 kilos. The overall length of this one is 38 centimeters or 380 millimeters. The cutting blade length here is 175 millimeters, 17.5 centimeters in cutting length. That is pretty That's pretty extreme, to be honest. And HRC on this one is between 56 and 58. And the steel used is WX15. It's like, I think they say it's a 52-100 ball bearing steel equivalent of sorts. Same type of steel used on all the axes from Fenix. I've had zero issues with the steel. I've had zero corrosion. It's been having, you know, good edge retention for the use I've been using it for, which is mostly woodworks, etc. This one being a butcher axe, might see more, you know, severing off bones and chopping off bones and stuff like that, which is maybe different on the edge. But I've had zero issues with the steel in general and with the grinds, etc. It's been performing quite well for me and really easy to sharpen up should you need to. But this is a, you know, it's a small axe, but weighing in at like, what did I say, 1.65 kilos. It does have, you know, quite a weight to it. So small but heavy. And that cutting edge length is, I mean, it is insane. Really nice finish here on the axe as well. As always. I mean, I think the fit and finish on my axes from Fenix are in general more or less impeccable. And as you can see, I have not put any CCM cloth tape here on the handle, nor any CCM cloth tape or paracord here, because since I'm going to use this a bit in the kitchen or, you know, working with meat and stuff like that, I don't want any. I want it to be easy to just clean off, etc. I don't want anything getting stuck here. And this version is offered in two different types, as always, with the axes from Fenix. This is the SEKACH-2, but you can also get SEKACH-1. The difference is the finish here. This has more forge marks, etc. And I did pick this one because I thought it looked a bit nicer than the SEKACH-1. But I guess some people might find that, you know, stuff or residue can get caught up here, and, you know, that could maybe be an issue for some people. Me, I don't really see how that could, you know, become much of an issue, to be honest, if you clean the axe once you've used it. But I'm just saying that there are as always two different versions, so you can go with whatever version you prefer the most. And there's also going to be a slight difference here, or there's going to be a difference in the actual profile here. If you go with the 1 instead of the 2, the 1 is going to be more, you know, it's going to be more contoured in a way here. It's kind of difficult to show, and I didn't bring any of my ones with me here now to show. But if you look at the definitive video, there is a part in it where I go over the differences in head profile between a 1 and a 2. So maybe we should do some, before we go to the kitchen, maybe we should do some small slicing tests or whatnot here. Maybe starting off by slicing some paper. Give me just a few minutes and I'm going to fetch a magazine so we can test the sharpness a bit. Let's start the sharpness test here by slicing some semi-regular, nothing special magazine paper, quite thin paper. So go for another page. Oops. So I think it is fairly safe to say that the axe is pretty sharp. So let's do something else as a slicing test, perhaps. So this is, as I said, a butcher's axe made for chopping into bones, etc. But I mean, we can still do some slicing with it with fruits and yeah, with fruits, because I bought some grapes and an orange with me. So I mean, it's not really the 100% intended use, but just for fun, let's see what we can do with this axe. So it may not be like the optimal slicer of... you know what, I'm gonna skip this glove here, it's just in the way. Yeah, this is kind of weird, but it did. I mean, it did slice the grape here. I won't say that it is, you know, the most comfortable tool to use for slicing slicing grapes, but I mean, yeah, whatever makes you happy, I guess. Here we have an orange now. That should be maybe not super interesting, but let's do it anyway, because we can. So blood orange. Let's do some other testing here as well. Need to get some, you know, variation going. You know, not the most interesting fruit salad of sorts, but even so, we did get, we did, you know, slice some things up here, and it wasn't, you know, too bad. I mean, I didn't really enjoy slicing the grapes with this axe, but slicing the oranges, not too bad, to be honest, not too bad. So I think that this is this might actually conclude this first look / special episode, etc. of this particular axe. I might actually go to the back side here of my house and just chop some or split some pieces of wood with it, just because I can. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I don't have any large pieces of meat or anything at home right now, so that is going to have to wait for a while. But we can always head to the back side and do some wood splitting. Yeah. So we're now at the back side here, and I have some small, they're not that small maybe, but pieces of wood that we can try to split into pieces. I'm gonna start with this one because it has an interesting large knot in it, and I want to see how well we can split this. Super heavy as well. So unsheathing the axe here. It's a bit dirt now because we just used it to slice some fruit. I'm gonna clean it up later, but now we can get maybe a better look and sensor of the wood orientation, the fitting of the head here with the wedges, etc. And just, you know, the overall look of this beast. So not a super large axe at only 38 centimeters, but with quite a lot of weight to it and an insane cutting blade or cutting edge length. The SEKACH-2. Serious axe. Let's see. Maybe we should actually raise the camera slightly, or ever so slightly here. More like this, perhaps. We want the axe to be at least somewhat visible. That's the work of the knotter. Not a piece of wood. I knew this was going to be an interesting piece to begin with. Look at this. Yeah? How is that for a challenge? Not bad. I think these other two will go a lot more smoothly because of the fact that there are no real visible knots that I can see, at least. If we can just break it open right away now. For unknown reasons, my camera decided to turn on and off. I hope it's going to work now, but I'm gonna try to do this splitting real fast so it doesn't get interrupted again. Hopefully I can use some of the materials that I just recorded. I'm not sure, but here we go with a few other pieces, so we have some bonus footage here. Once again, pretty large sized pieces of wood. The camera is still alive. Making quick work now. So this is gonna be interesting. Not right there. maybe not so interesting.